Oh my goodness. Dollaritis. uh, I needed that. Oop, that is not right. Or what did we make? Oh, we're making the face. I'm into it. All right, we're gonna put this piece aside. We're gonna big old this. Or Applebee's mascot has. It's like upsetting bacon or something. I missed like the picture. Was there a picture that Robotnik had for like kind of curious if the spelling the pronunciation goes through that.
Ah, matonym, you've struck upon an age-old remedy. If dollaritis is an ailment brought on by an empty wallet, then a dollarita might just be the perfect refreshing antidote. It's affordable, cheerful, and might just inspire you to forget your troubles, at least until the tab comes. Enjoy responsibly, and may your spirits be as high as the drink is cheap.
Didn't have so much trouble that time, huh? All right, we got two of the little flat pieces. I have a dream about like what is a dollarita? Is it just a margarita that's $1? Also, why are they that cheap? Or is that like not a question I should ask? Like, are they just selling so many and the like liquor in the mix is so bad that it being $1 is like, yeah, we'll make money? Or is it just like a loss leader? Maybe it's like so potent that there's no way they could possibly run out of money. 90% ice? I mean, even with like a ton of ice, it must be like just like the worst of the worst well liquor where like employees are going blind, like making it in whatever tubs they have out back. What what's more concerning? I just thought of like a really bad game shows like, is this more concerning than a dollarita? It's a margarita for $1. Don't ever think it. I mean, they're not wrong in that I'm sure multiple people are like, wait, why is this so cheap? And their employees just have to be like, yeah, I don't know. It's probably very low quality. They probably dumped enough Kool-Aid margaritas mixed into it to taste the alcohol. It's just so much sugar. Everyone's like, I don't know why, but I'll have 14 more. It's only $14. I mean, I've definitely been to a bar where they had dollar like, um, what's that light beer that's like 40 calories or something? It's like Michelob Ultra or something like that. They were like $1, but it was like one of those things where even if you spent like $15, you'd be so full that you like that. I think that beer is like 2% or something. They probably weren't getting a lot of people who were just like too messed up from that. So maybe like the amount of alcohol is like a quarter of a shot or something. Because you know, like with enough ice, you could probably make like a test tube shot. Because like test tube shots at some like bars, it's been so long since I've had one of those that I think the last time I had one they were like $1. But those are like almost no alcohol and just all sugar. After stream, I'm just gonna like buy an Applebee's franchise just to investigate. Quitting my job. Right, this is it. A case of Michelob Ultra. I don't remember the last time I've had Michelob Ultra. That just seems like one of those things that you just kind of like regret buying. Grab a drink there and sweet talk. I don't even know if sweet talking would be required. I think just, hey, what's in this? And they'd be like, oh my god, let me tell you. And they'd be like, wait, no, you were too ready to tell me. And they're like, you're that reporter I was talking to, right? We're gonna expose Applebee's. Rita was a lovely lady. She bought cases of Michelob Ultra. Michelob Ultra always struck me as like one of those beers where I guess if you haven't had beer in a super long time, you could kind of convince yourself that that's what it tastes like. fermented but not in vain. Willingly fermented. I think if you requested for someone to ferment you, that's also maybe another extremely confusing pickup line. Like, I don't know what any of the actions required for that to happen are. A fermented person could be, that could be stretching it just a little bit. But is that the same Rita that became a? Wait, didn't Budweiser have like drinks called Ritas? There was like strawberry Rita Bud Light or whatever. That sounds familiar. Strawberry Ritas. Were they good? I remember like Bud Light Lime wasn't too bad. If my memory of that drink is correct. I think it was like Rolling Stones that called the song like one of the greatest crimes against rock and roll. And while I don't think that, I think that's a funny like list to make. All right, I think that's this color. Oh, is it just like so much sugar to make up for like trying to get that flavor in a beer? Ugh. I don't think I want to think about that. It's like, do you remember Andre Champagne? The like strawberry kind of that. How many Rolling Stones song would you want to end up on that list? Wait, I think I said it was Rolling Stone magazine. Actually, you know what? I have no idea if the Rolling Stones are on it. It's funny that I think that these are the eyes, and these as eyes are kind of creepy looking. They're a little buttholey. This did not go on right. The Rolling Stones. You know, I feel like I've not listened to the Rolling Stones enough to even have an opinion on any sort of Rolling Stone song. What's funny is they like rest in these like little crevices, little things. There's something kind of unappealing looking about this. You know what this kind of looks like? This reminds me a little bit of like we're almost to Jar Jar Binks's face. Is there a Jar Jar Binks Lego set? Like just the head? Just a massive head? You're not allowed to publicly reference Star Wars. I mean, it's not too far off. I think if I made it like much bigger, You know, I bet you if I Googled how to use the Deku tree to build Jar Jar Binks, it would be a thing that would come up. You know, that's a question someone has asked on Reddit. There are I know there's minifigs, but it would be like, is there a giant Jar Jar Binks set? Like zoom in a little bit. Because you know how they have like you can like make Yoda's head or whatever, just a giant Jar Jar Binks head, like a life size head. Because didn't Ahmed Best have to like put it on top of like his head basically? It was like Ahmed Best with the like fake looking head thing above his head. Because Jar Jar Binks is like tall. Why are you not allowed to publicly reference Star Wars? Or is that like a life policy? It's like I will never reference Star Wars. That's supposed to be flush. Oh, I've not been using. Go over. God, the Lego app is just so much better. I keep forgetting to like look over whenever I have like a kind of a question because you can just like rotate the whole thing. Like it's amazing. Okay, yeah, that's not flush. You've only seen the 2015 Force Awakens. Out of all context for what could possibly happen for the rest of the movie series, what did you think of that one entry? What was I doing? I need a 4. You really liked BB-8? You know, fair. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like someone at Disney was like, "But what if somebody comes in here and hasn't seen any of them?" They're like, you know, BB-8, and they weren't wrong. You know, people get more upset when I had never ever seen any Star Wars, or if you've only seen that one. I mean, it's perfectly fine. You can't see every movie forever. You got to pick the ones you want to do. All right, this has to go in here. Now I can. Oop. Although it would be kind of funny if in like this thing's falling off. Like in a vampire movie, Like two of the vampires are talking, and like one of the vampires is like, I've never seen Star Wars. It's like, but you like live forever. It's like, yeah, still want to see it. I'm good. I've seen Spaceballs. It's like the same thing. I think that's all that's supposed to happen. That is all that's supposed to happen. The Jar Jar Binks tree is coming along. All right. We are making some spider webs. Maybe some vampire thought that cinema peaked in the 1920s. It would be like, or no, they see that train coming at the screen, movie, and it like scares them so much that they're like, I'm never seeing another movie again. They just like drive vehicles towards the screen. It's terrifying. I don't need that in my life. Can't tell if the song is already played, or I just listened to the song so much it seems like it's playing all the time. Oop, not following along. I do like when the Legos like scold you for like doing the wrong thing. All right, we flip this whole thing over. I have a fear that like one day I'm gonna like walk in here and accidentally knock down all the Legos I have, and then I think I just like slowly walk away from this room and never come back. Actually, you know what? I would just scoop them all into a box and just accept that that's what happened. I'm guessing this like flips down, or maybe there's a little spider that's gonna go in it. There was like a time like a couple weeks ago when like Link's house fell off. Like Link's house fell off the table. I like accidentally knocked it over, and it broke into like just the right pieces where I could look at the box and tell where they went. But I did have a moment when it happened, and I like looked at it and I was like, I think that's it. I think I'm done. Or I truly was like, I don't know what I do now. Like, I guess go back to the each page and like look through to see like where these things fit. But luckily, like just based on the box, I could kind of figure it out. But it was not a good feeling. I mean, I could even imagine like building the Titanic or something like that, and like a giant chunk of that falling off the table, and just I don't know. You call your insurance company or something. These are threes. File some home insurance because your Legos got destroyed. You don't know the Legos. I mean, that's not far off feeling, especially now that I have like more than one set. A thing that I did not think I would ever have in my entire life. I could use I've thought about using Craggle. I've thought about it. I mean, the only bad thing about the glue is that it would make moving harder. Because I truly think like when I move, I'm just gonna take them all apart and like put them in boxes, and that's that. All right, we need one little small. Socket things. But yeah, I was gonna stream God of War today, and I was like trying to do the previously on part, and I like really had this moment where I was like, because I look back at the ones that I've done before, the like previous documents I have, and every single time it's like a pretty good indicator of like, okay, this is where I stopped last time, so now I can kind of figure out what I did last time based on that. And there's so many where like one small thing happens in God of War, and then just like nothing. And I had this moment where I was like, is the pacing of this game as bad as what everyone says? And I think the answer is yes, it is. But it was a real like eye opener of how like just compared to the last game how slow it is. Yeah, the newer one. It's I find the combat to be a little bit more fun, but like the structure of the game, if you've never played them, the structure of the games, they're kind of like The Last of Us, where like there's like a set piece where you do like action stuff and it's like combat and maybe some puzzles. And then there's like story beats where it's like a like a cinematic or whatever. And the time between those is like longer than the 2018 one, because the 2018 one I thought was pretty well paced, sometimes a little slow but usually not too bad. But then like this one, instead of it being like one or two puzzles, that's like three puzzles between like the sections of story, and there are three puzzles that are basically the same, and then you fight, instead of like one or two or three encounters and a boss, it's like 4 to 5 encounters and then a boss. um I don't know. I hear it's like uneven, like some parts get faster and some parts are like slower and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that like the periods where it's like way more drawn out are fewer and far between. But there's definitely moments where I'm like trying to remember what I did, and I keep running into like